But the whole thing is that we are losing our direction as Kenyans. For example, in my culture, we had this very old culture of circumcision in Luya land that was done culturally. Today, it's been rolled out. Now that was actually even Kalenjis. Today, most of the children now are going to the hospital to be circumcised, yeah, which is actually not what we had. So there's that Western influence, and we have to go back to so that you can be told, as you are rightly saying, we want to put on a flag to show that you're Kenyan. But actually, you can also, when a foreigner comes to this country, he knows exactly that, oh, this is a Maasai, this is a Jaluo, this is a Luya, whatever it is. What are you doing? Because there's a lot of influence from the Western that actually eroding this culture, which to me should be revived.
Thank you. Can you answer those three?
I will start with the question of heritage. We need to promote our heritage by hosting cultural days in every county where these sites are. Like, for example, we have Fort Jesus, we have Mount Kenya, Mijigenda, Kaya Forest, having like hosting cultural days around Lake Baringo, Lake Bogoria, the lakes around Mount Kenya, because that is an heritage. So that we are able to connect with the heritage sites, is to host the cultural days there at the county, because they are situated at the counties, most of them. We need to work with the Ministry of Tourism so that they are able to market, because they are the ones who come into contact with our tourists, so that they are able to give a boost in terms of marketing for the tourists to visit their heritage sites. We also can use the writing competitions, what we are talking about arts, engage the students to write essays, to write about our heritage sites, and also have Kenyans to know what they are and where they are. Most Kenyans don't actually know. And I'm one of them. I've never been to Lake Turkana at my age. So we should encourage Kenyans to know what is their heritage by visiting. I even propose that you should be holding also these kind of meetings in an heritage site. You must not come to a hall like this. We need to go down, because that way you are sensitizing. When they know the speaker is in Lamu Old Town, then all these cameras would be there, and that is a way of publicizing our heritage sites. I am also aware that there is a pending policy and legal framework on the Culture Bill 2014. The Museums, Heritage and Museum Bill is pending in Parliament. These are some of the legislations that they need to be concluded so that they comply with the Constitution. I will be appealing to the leadership of this House to ensure that they help us to get these bills concluded. So I think that's what I can say now on issues of heritage.
Museums? She has not reached you yet. No. Go on. Go to Dawood's question. Our museums are empty. The artifacts are missing. There are museums in London, and museums in Berlin, and museums in Paris. What are you going to do to get them back? Some countries are doing so. That's Dawood's question, right?
Yes. I think there's already a policy, or rather there is an engagement with the member states of those countries to ensure that they return our items. For example, in Baringo, there is they say it's the oldest man.
Avoid the temptation to show the country that you are going to be a minister for Baringo.
No, I'm just using that as an example. Yes. I'll not use another one.
Talk about the whole country.
That old person is, I'm told, is in Germany. It needs to be brought back to Kenya museums. In fact, the other day, the schools were here, and I asked them, one of our primary schools, where did you go? They said, we went to the Museum of Kenya. What did you see? They said, we saw a lion. And how can lions be there? They are not there. It is just those things and snakes.
Yes.
Actually, the things which are there are snakes. We are going to have an engagement as a department or as a ministry to visit the museum and come up with a solution. Because some of the things that they are saying is that they are understaffed. Again, they will go to the issue of there is no funding. Mostly they are talking about funding. So again, we'll have to see how we can get the funds, even if we engage with private, have a private partnership so that they can use it as the advertisement, but they finance bringing these issues which have been taken out of the country.
Right. Go to
my point of order.
Yes. Yes, Ferdinand.
Yeah, I think you came very well, but I want you to stress this fact that I think because the culture is almost disappearing, let's host a day through this parliament. I think we can request so they can be able to give you, so they can have a day which is actually a cultural day for Kenya, where people can, everybody can go wherever they come from to have that. I think that's what I want you to say.
Mr. Speaker, she's not answered about the gender desks being in the hospital. Who is going to run them? Is it the Ministry of Gender or is it the police? And who is going to pay for it?
Nominee?
I think there's already a cultural day. It has only not been gazetted. Yeah. So we'll follow it up. Then the issue of the desks. Policemen and hospitals, they don't stay far from each other. Those are public utilities. Where there is an hospital, a police station is not. So we don't need to employ other people. Use the same people. Work with the Ministry of Interior to have that desk moved there instead of employing other people. We work with the ministries. We are one government. So if we want to deal with gender-based violence at the hospitals, it is just to ensure that we deal with all those things at once. The treatment, the reporting, and the psychosocial support. So it really doesn't have to be you train or you remove the policemen. In any event, even those policemen as we speak, they don't stay. After some time, they are transferred, and there is no suitable replacement like the way they do for teachers. So there has to be an engagement on how to ensure that those desks are functional.
Emase.
Thank you, Chairman, not Chair. Nominee, allow me to take you back to gender-based violence. Most of the cases on gender-based violence remained unreported because of the challenges inherent in the reporting processes. We have even men being battered, women being battered, children defiled, raped. Name them, all of those are assault cases. So I'm wondering, what are you going to do as a ministry to ensure that most of these cases are reported, to encourage victims to report? Secondly, for those that are reported, as a country, we still have a challenge because we do not have structured systems where the victims can get support. And I mean psychosocial support, legal support, and medical support, where we have a kind of a one-stop center for the victim of gender-based violence. So what are you going to do as the minister, if approved, in that department with respect to addressing the challenges? There are safe spaces in some counties, but there are some counties even without such kind of a facility, where such victims can be held shortly as this support is sought.
Thank you.
For those that they have challenges to operationalize. There is no money, there's no budget. So what are you going to do in your ministry to ensure that there is sufficient budget, and how will you address those challenges?
She said she'll negotiate with you.
Negotiate with me?
Yes, with Parliament. Yes, Mishi.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, I have two questions to Hannah Cheptum. And my first question is on the issue of the girls. What measures are you going to put in place to ensure young girls who have dropped out from school due to early marriages, early pregnancy, and FGM that are given a second chance for studies? That is my first question. My second question, the government has initiated several funds, the Women Enterprise Fund, the Youth Fund, Wezo Fund, Hustler Fund, and all these funds target the affirmative group, which include women, youth, and persons with disability. But when you look on the analysis, you still see that women are still low in terms of economic empowerment. What measures are you going to put in place to ensure that these funds reach the target audience and also they give positive results? Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Russell.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Madam Anna, listening to your response and also the questions that have been asked by my colleagues, everybody tends to think that this is a soft ministry. Actually, this is a very serious ministry. It is about our people, and it addresses the core of issues about the girl child, the boy child, our culture, heritage, arts, and all that. So my first question is, you talked about budget cuts, but tell us how you are going to make more money so that you develop your own A&A. Secondly, around the world, museums and cultural centers are actually the greatest sources of tourism destinations and centers of attraction. We would like to hear from you. What are some of the strategies and initiatives and innovative ideas you are likely to come up with so that more Kenyans actually, instead of traveling out, they can travel inwards to go to Ilret on the shores of Lake Turkana, to see the Turkana Museum, and all that. Thank you, Chairman.
Nominee, you can answer those three from Emase.
I will start with the one for, Mr. Speaker, I'll start with the one for the girls. We need to reintegrate them back to schools by supporting them to go and learn in the TVETs, because these are institutions that are available and they are cheap. So let them, if they don't want to go back to school, but at least engage. If you want to go back to primary, you can go back. Nobody denies that. Secondary, you can always go. But join these TVET institutions so that you gain a skill